Gentlemen, listen closely because what I'm about to tell you could change everything about how you feel, perform, and live as a man. Every single day, millions of men unknowingly let their strength slip away, not because of age, but because they ignore one simple, powerful daily habit. This isn't about complicated routines or expensive treatments, it's about reclaiming what's rightfully yours, your vitality, your confidence, and your power. The truth is simple. Your body thrives on consistency. Just like your muscles weaken when you stop training, your intimate strength also fades when you neglect it. Blood flow, hormonal balance, and daily movement, these are the lifelines of your masculine health. Ignore them, and over time, the signals grow weaker, lower energy, slower recovery, and yes, a weaker performance where it matters most. Now, here's what most men don't realize. Your intimate health is a mirror of your overall health. When circulation slows, when the body stiffens, when the mind gets foggy, everything is connected. Daily activation is not a choice, it's a necessity. Whether it's targeted pelvic floor exercises, deep breathing for oxygen flow, or intentional daily movement, these small habits fuel the strength that keeps you vibrant and capable. Imagine this: a version of you that wakes up energized, stands taller, moves with confidence, and never doubts your performance. That version exists, but only if you take responsibility today. This isn't about chasing youth, it's about building power, naturally and consistently. Consistency builds power, it's the invisible force behind every lasting transformation. Think about it. No champion is made in a single day. No strong, healthy body is built through occasional bursts of effort. True strength, real vitality, and lasting confidence are born from what you choose to do repeatedly, day after day, even when no one is watching. It's not the grand gestures or rare moments of inspiration that define your results. It's the quiet, steady rhythm of commitment. Every time you show up for yourself, you make a deposit into the bank of your future strength. Whether it's moving your body, improving your circulation, eating clean, or breathing deeply, these daily actions compound over time. Just like a river carves through rock not through force, but through persistence, your body responds to what you do consistently. If you skip days, procrastinate, or rely on quick fixes, you break the rhythm your body needs to thrive. But when you stay consistent, something powerful happens. Your mind adapts, your muscles respond, your blood flows better, and your energy starts to rise. Consistency is not about perfection. It's about showing up, even on the days when it's inconvenient, uncomfortable, or when motivation feels low. Those are the days that matter most. Anyone can act when it's easy, but true power is built when you push forward despite the resistance. Your body thrives on routine. Regular movement tells your system, stay strong. Stay awake. Keep growing. Daily habits act like signals that keep your hormonal balance sharp, your circulation active, and your performance reliable. Imagine two men starting on the same path. One does his exercises, practices deep breathing, and prioritizes his health a few days a week when he feels like it. The other makes it a daily ritual, no excuses, no skipping. Months pass, and the difference becomes undeniable. One stays stuck in the same place, feeling occasional bursts of energy followed by long dips of fatigue. The other moves forward steadily, gaining strength and momentum with each passing week. The difference isn't talent, age, or resources. It's consistency. Consistency also builds trust with yourself. Every time you keep a promise to act, even in small ways, you reinforce your self-belief. You start to rely on your own word. That inner trust is what separates those who talk about change from those who live it. Over time, your daily habits stop feeling like chores and start feeling like a natural part of who you are. Your body begins to expect that care, and it rewards you with resilience, stamina, and sharper energy. It's easy to underestimate the power of small daily actions because they don't always bring instant results. But real transformation is rarely visible overnight. It builds quietly, beneath the surface, through hundreds of consistent choices that stack on top of each other. When you water a plant daily, you don't see growth instantly, but you trust the process. Your health works the same way. Those daily movements, stretches, breaths, and moments of care are watering the roots of your strength. When you stop and start, your body struggles to find its rhythm. It has to readjust, restart, and rebuild. But when you stay consistent, you create a momentum that works in your favor. Your blood circulation improves naturally, your tissues receive more oxygen, your energy systems become more efficient, and your confidence grows quietly but steadily. You don't need dramatic transformations in a week, you need steady progress over time. Consistency turns habits into instincts. What begins as effort eventually becomes identity. And when that happens, you no longer rely on willpower alone, your actions become who you are. You start each day already aligned with your goals, because you trained yourself to act, not just think. Your health reflects your habits. Every choice you make leaves a mark, whether you notice it immediately or not. Your body is constantly responding to the signals you send through your daily actions. The food you eat, the way you move, how you breathe, the amount of rest you give yourself, and the level of stress you manage all come together to shape the way you feel, perform, and function. It's easy to think of health as something that just happens, something dependent on luck or genetics, but in reality, it's the direct result of repeated behaviors. Your habits are like instructions, and your body simply follows them. When you feed your body nutritious food consistently, you're giving it the tools to repair, rebuild, and stay strong. When you hydrate regularly, you support your cells, your circulation, and your overall energy. When you choose movement daily, your body responds by staying flexible, your muscles remain active, and your blood flow stays strong. On the other hand, when you neglect these habits, when you skip meals, rely on processed food, avoid movement, or live in a constant state of stress, your body reflects those choices too. Energy dips, mental fog sets in, circulation slows, and over time, the signals of imbalance become louder. Habits are powerful because they operate beneath conscious thought. Most of what you do each day happens on autopilot. If your automatic routines support your health, your body stays in a state of strength and balance. But if your routines lean toward neglect, that neglect accumulates. You may not notice the effects immediately, but slowly, they manifest as fatigue, stiffness, weakness, and other signs that your body is simply mirroring your lifestyle back to you. Think about how a garden responds to care. When you water it, give it sunlight, and remove the weeds regularly, it thrives. If you neglect it for weeks, the leaves droop, weeds take over, and growth slows down. Your body works the same way. The way you live every day either nourishes your internal systems or allows them to weaken. Even the smallest daily decisions compound over time, and your health is the reflection of those accumulated decisions. This principle applies especially to your intimate health and vitality. Circulation, hormonal balance, nerve responsiveness, and muscular strength all depend on consistent healthy habits. If your lifestyle encourages movement, deep oxygen intake, and balanced nutrition, your intimate function remains sharp and responsive. But if your habits lean toward inactivity, poor diet, dehydration, and stress, the body simply follows that pattern. It doesn't make exceptions because it's important to you. It follows the signals you give it through your behavior. Your health is not shaped by one big moment, it's shaped by countless small, almost invisible choices. Reaching for water instead of soda, taking a 5-minute walk instead of staying glued to a chair, breathing deeply instead of holding in stress, sleeping at the right time instead of scrolling late at night. These are small actions, but together they create the structure your body lives in. If that structure is strong, your energy is stable, your performance remains solid, and your confidence grows from within. When people look at someone who seems strong, youthful, or full of vitality, they often assume it's genetics or luck. What they don't see is the collection of habits behind the scenes, the consistency, the discipline, the daily choices that have built that state over time. Every habit you keep, whether good or bad, shapes how your body operates tomorrow. If your daily routines involve neglect, your health will eventually reveal that neglect through weakness, lower energy, or slower performance. But if your daily routines are aligned with health, your body becomes a reflection of care, strength, and intentional living. The power lies in understanding that habits are not neutral. They're either building you up or breaking you down. There's no in-between. Your body doesn't judge, it simply responds. If you provide it with quality inputs through consistent healthy habits, it rewards you with strength, resilience, and vitality. If you neglect it, it quietly mirrors that neglect back until the signs can no longer be ignored. Discipline beats motivation because motivation is fleeting, unpredictable, and often unreliable, while discipline is steady, deliberate, and unshakable. Motivation might get you started, but discipline keeps you going long after that initial spark fades. Everyone experiences this when energy is high, when the idea of improving health feels exciting and effortless. But those moments don't last forever. Life brings distractions, fatigue, stress, and unexpected obstacles. If you rely solely on feeling motivated, your progress will stop the moment that feeling disappears. Discipline, however, doesn't depend on feelings. It's a decision, a commitment to act regardless of mood or convenience. When you build discipline, you train your mind and body to act on principle, not emotion. You wake up, follow your routine, and stick to your health goals not because you always feel like it, but because it's who you decided to become. This mental shift is what separates temporary effort from lasting change. Motivation is like a spark, it can ignite action, but without discipline to keep the fire alive, it burns out quickly. Discipline is the steady flame that keeps burning even in the wind. It doesn't need external inspiration to keep going, it draws its power from consistency and commitment. Many people wait for the right moment to take care of their health, hoping motivation will magically appear. They think they'll start when they feel more energetic, when work slows down, or when conditions become perfect. But perfection never comes. If you wait to feel ready, you delay progress indefinitely. Discipline doesn't wait for the perfect time. It acts now, regardless of circumstances. When you set a standard for yourself and stick to it daily, discipline becomes a habit, and that habit becomes your strength. Discipline is what gets you to do those daily exercises when your mind gives you excuses. It's what drives you to choose water over sugar, to stand up and move when sitting feels easier, to breathe deeply when stress tries to tighten your chest. These small acts of discipline repeated over time build resilience. Your body learns to trust your actions. Your mind starts recognizing that no matter how you feel, you follow through. And with each act of discipline, your identity shifts from someone who tries to someone who does. Think of motivation as the weather and discipline as the foundation of a house. The weather can change every day, sunny one moment, stormy the next. If your health routine depends on sunny days, everything falls apart when the storm comes. But if you build on a strong foundation, the structure stands no matter what the weather looks like. Discipline is that foundation. It's what keeps your health practices stable when everything else feels unstable. Developing discipline doesn't mean you have to be perfect. It means you set clear, non-negotiable standards for yourself and follow them consistently. Even when progress feels slow or invisible, discipline ensures that the work gets done. Over time, this persistence compounds into real, tangible results. The men who build lasting strength and vitality aren't necessarily more talented or naturally gifted, they're simply more disciplined. They keep showing up, day after day, even when the excitement has worn off. The beauty of discipline is that once it's built, it reduces the mental energy required to take action. What once felt like effort becomes automatic. You no longer need to debate with yourself about whether to act, you simply act. This mental clarity removes hesitation, which is often the biggest barrier to progress. Instead of wasting energy deciding, you use that energy to move forward. Your daily health practices become ingrained, like brushing your teeth, something you do without needing inspiration. Discipline also breeds confidence. Each time you follow through on your commitment despite discomfort, you prove to yourself that you can be trusted. That trust builds a quiet inner strength, a sense of stability that doesn't depend on mood swings or outside motivation. It allows you to face challenges without losing momentum, because you trained yourself to act no matter what. Over time, this mindset seeps into every area of your life, strengthening not only your health but your character. When your health depends on motivation, your progress will always be inconsistent. But when discipline takes over, your progress becomes inevitable, because action is no longer optional. Discipline keeps the engine running steadily, even when motivation runs out of fuel. It's the anchor that holds your goals steady when the tides of distraction, fatigue, or doubt try to pull you off course. Natural strength is earned, not bought, because real health and vitality can't be faked or forced through shortcuts. In a world filled with quick fixes, miracle pills, and instant solutions, many people are tempted to believe that they can bypass the hard work that true transformation requires. But the body doesn't respond to empty promises. It responds to daily effort, to habits repeated over time, to natural stimulation that activates its own power from within. You can't purchase resilience. You can't buy genuine stamina or deep-rooted energy. These are things that your body builds gradually when you give it the right signals through consistent action. When you rely on artificial methods to create short-term results, you might experience a temporary boost, but that boost fades because it's not built on a strong foundation. True strength isn't something you can inject, swallow, or apply like a quick solution. It's something that develops slowly and steadily through movement, nutrition, discipline, and patience. Just like a tree grows strong through years of deepening its roots and expanding its branches, your health grows through repetition and effort, not through sudden tricks. Natural strength is built by working with your body, not against it. It involves understanding how your system thrives through proper circulation, balanced hormones, clean fuel, restorative rest, and regular activity. When you nourish these systems daily, they become more efficient, more powerful, and more responsive. If you try to skip the process, the body doesn't adapt the way it should. Instead, it becomes dependent on external crutches that don't last. Real, natural strength doesn't rely on temporary spikes, it relies on the stability created through daily choices. Think about how muscles grow. You can't build lasting muscle in a single day or by taking something that promises overnight transformation. Growth happens when you repeatedly challenge your body, give it time to recover, and feed it properly. The same principle applies to every aspect of male vitality. Your energy levels, performance, stamina, and confidence are shaped by what you do consistently, not by what you hope will happen through external aids. Pills or shortcuts may offer the illusion of progress, but once they're gone, the underlying weakness remains because the body itself hasn't developed strength. The pursuit of quick results often comes from impatience or a desire to avoid discomfort. But discomfort is part of growth. Every deep breath you take to oxygenate your body, every exercise that gets your blood flowing, every decision to choose healthy fuel over empty calories is a form of earning strength. Your body responds to that effort by becoming stronger over time. It's a process that demands respect, not shortcuts. If you try to cheat the process, the results will always be fragile. But if you embrace it, the results will become part of you. Natural strength also lasts longer because it's built from the inside out. When you develop habits that support circulation, hormonal balance, and muscular endurance, Your body learns to maintain those states on its own. You're not forcing it to act a certain way temporarily, you're training it to function optimally over the long term. This is why people who commit to daily healthy habits often find that their energy remains stable, their confidence grows naturally, and their performance improves in ways that feel sustainable rather than forced. There's also a psychological strength that develops when you earn your results. When you know that your power comes from your own effort, your mindset changes. You stop chasing magic solutions and start trusting your body's ability to respond to consistent care. That trust builds a sense of control and self-respect that no supplement or shortcut can give you. It becomes part of your identity, something that can't be taken away. Every drop of natural strength you build is like adding a brick to a solid wall. Each day of movement, each healthy choice, each moment of discipline lays another brick. Over time, that wall becomes unshakable. When challenges come, when energy dips temporarily, when life gets busy, that foundation remains. Artificial methods can give you a temporary boost, but they can't give you this kind of stability because they're not built on effort, they're built on dependency. Earning strength naturally also teaches patience and respect for your own body. It forces you to slow down and pay attention to the signals your system sends. It makes you more aware of how your habits shape your physical state. And in that awareness, real change begins. Instead of outsourcing your health to external fixes, you become the one responsible for it. The more consistently you nurture your body, the more it rewards you with lasting vitality, not temporary highs. Your future self is watching, silently observing every decision you make today, every habit you keep, and every action you choose to take or avoid. The man you become a few months, a few years, or even a few decades from now is being shaped right now through your daily choices. Every glass of water you drink or skip, every stretch you do or ignore, every deep breath you take or hold back, it all accumulates. Time doesn't pause to give you another chance to build the foundation you want. It keeps moving, and with it, your body responds to the signals you're sending through your actions. When you look in the mirror years from now, the reflection staring back at you will be the result of thousands of small, seemingly insignificant decisions made over time. You might not feel the impact of neglect today, but the future version of you will. He will either thank you for your consistency and discipline or bear the consequences of the shortcuts and inaction. The power of this realization lies in understanding that your future self is not a stranger. He's you, but either stronger or weaker depending on how you choose to live today. Most people underestimate how much influence their daily habits have on their future. They imagine that change happens suddenly, that health deteriorates overnight, or that strength can be regained instantly. But the truth is that everything is built gradually. Your energy levels, your physical performance, your vitality, and your overall confidence are built or broken through repeated patterns. The future self you create is like a sculpture carved day by day. Every healthy habit is a deliberate stroke shaping that version of you. Every unhealthy choice, every moment of neglect, every skipped action is a missed opportunity to strengthen the form you're creating. Picture yourself 10 years from now walking into a room. How do you want to feel in that moment? Do you want to move with power, with clarity, with strength radiating from within? Or do you want to feel weighed down by the consequences of neglect? That vision isn't just a dream, it's a destination shaped by the map you're drawing today. If your current habits support your energy, mobility, and mental sharpness, that future version of you will carry those benefits effortlessly. If your habits lean toward comfort and avoidance, that future version will carry the burden of those choices, too. The future self you're creating also reflects how seriously you take your responsibilities today. When you choose discipline over excuses, movement over laziness, and nourishment over indulgence, you're sending a clear message to your future self that you value him. You're saying, I'm building you to be strong, capable, and full of life. This mindset changes the way you approach daily routines. Actions stop feeling like chores and start feeling like investments. Each workout, each moment of stillness, each healthy choice becomes a gift you're giving to your future self. This idea goes beyond physical strength. It extends into your confidence, your mental resilience, and your emotional state. When you build habits that keep your body active and your mind clear, your future self becomes someone who can handle challenges with stability. He won't have to rebuild from scratch because you laid the groundwork early. But if you let neglect become your pattern, the future version of you will have to work twice as hard to recover what could have been preserved through consistent action. It's easy to live only in the present moment and think that small lapses won't matter, but those lapses stack up. Every skip stretch, every day without proper movement, every choice to ignore what your body needs is a small withdrawal from your future strength. Over time, those withdrawals accumulate into weakness, slow recovery, or diminished energy. On the other hand, every healthy action you take is like depositing strength into your future account. When the time comes, you'll be able to draw from that reserve, and it will support you when you need it most. Imagine your future self standing before you, watching you go through your daily routine. Would he be proud of the choices you're making? Would he feel gratitude for the discipline you built, or frustration for the opportunities you ignored? This simple question has the power to shift your mindset from short-term comfort to long-term growth. Every time you hesitate to act, remember that you're not just deciding for today, you're deciding for the version of you that will live with those results. The habits you build today shape the strength, clarity, and confidence you'll have later. They determine whether your future self will be climbing mountains with ease or struggling with basic energy. This is why every decision matters more than it seems in the moment. You're not just drinking water, stretching, or moving, you're actively designing your future. And the best part is, your future self has no power to change what you're doing today. He depends entirely on the choices you make in this moment. Action creates momentum because nothing changes until movement begins. You can think, plan, dream, or prepare endlessly, but none of it matters if you don't take that first step. The moment you act, even in the smallest way, energy starts to build. That initial push breaks the resistance that holds you back. Most people wait for the perfect time to begin, imagining that some magical moment will arrive when everything feels easy. But perfection never comes. The secret is to move anyway, to start where you are with what you have. Once you take that step, momentum begins to carry you forward. Momentum has a powerful way of multiplying effort. One small action leads to another, then another, and before you know it, a chain reaction begins. It doesn't matter how small the action is: a short walk, a deep breath, a glass of water, a stretch in the morning. Each one creates a ripple that influences the rest of your day. When you act, your mind shifts from passive to active mode. You stop being a spectator of your health and start becoming a participant. This shift is where real transformation begins. The hardest part is often the beginning. Resistance is strongest before movement starts. Your mind might fill with excuses, doubts, or distractions to keep you in a state of comfort. But the moment you override those thoughts and act, even for a minute, that resistance weakens. Taking action trains your mind to stop negotiating with excuses. It shows your body that forward movement is possible, even when motivation is low. Each time you act despite hesitation, you make it easier to act again tomorrow. Momentum also removes the heavy burden of overthinking. When you spend too much time analyzing, you build mental walls that make action seem more difficult than it really is. But once you move, those walls start to crumble. You stop asking "should I?" and start proving to yourself "I can." The act itself creates clarity. When you take a step toward better health, whether through exercise, breathing, or improved habits, the path ahead becomes clearer because you're no longer standing still. Think about pushing a heavy object. At first, it feels almost impossible to get it to budge. It requires a concentrated burst of effort. But once it starts rolling, it takes less energy to keep it moving. Your health works the same way. The first few days or weeks of building new habits might feel challenging. Your body and mind may resist the unfamiliar. But once momentum builds, everything becomes smoother. Your body begins to expect movement, your energy adjusts, and your routine starts to feel natural instead of forced. Momentum also builds confidence. Each action you take reinforces the belief that you're capable. If you start with a 5-minute walk and repeat it daily, soon you'll feel ready to walk longer, stretch more deeply, or train more consistently. Every action becomes evidence of your commitment, and that evidence fuels your confidence. The more evidence you collect, the less room there is for doubt. You start to see yourself not as someone trying to change, but as someone who already lives the change. Even on days when your energy is low, taking a small action maintains the flow. It doesn't have to be perfect. What matters is that you don't stop. When you stop completely, inertia takes over. Inertia makes it harder to restart, pulling you back into patterns of delay and procrastination. But if you take even the smallest step, you keep the wheel turning. Over time, this habit of acting, no matter how small, becomes a powerful force that pushes you through obstacles that once held you back. Momentum influences every part of your life because health isn't isolated. When you act in one area, like physical movement, it often spills into others. You might drink more water, make better food choices, breathe more deeply, or rest more intentionally. Each action reinforces another, creating a loop of positive behavior. This is why starting matters more than starting big. A single small movement can set off a wave of improvement that grows larger with time. Taking action also silences doubt. When you stay still, your mind has time to question, to build fears, and to exaggerate obstacles. But when you act, those doubts lose their power because your focus shifts to doing. You're no longer trapped in thought, you're immersed in movement. The more you act, the more natural action becomes, and soon momentum takes over in a way that makes progress feel almost automatic. Momentum doesn't require perfection, it requires persistence. The act of showing up, again and again, builds an unstoppable rhythm that carries you forward even when your emotions fluctuate. This rhythm becomes a force that supports your goals instead of fighting them. It allows your body and mind to align with your actions, creating a flow where growth happens naturally.